MMH, the home of rock radio. This is a surprise. We've just had Stu from White Raven Down pop in and say hello. Headlining Stonedeaf 2020, mate. Looking forward to it.
I don't think anyone's ready for that, least of all us.
So, very quickly, how did the band get together?
The band got together. Well, you know what? I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what sort of band I was trying to put together, and me and a mutual friend were like, right, we're going to do this. We found our vocalist, Will Taylor, and his voice just had that distinguishing tone, you know, and that's what we wanted, you know, because our guitar sound had a distinguishing tone, and what we wanted to do with the bass had a distinguishing tone. So we really wanted our own sound. So we built the band up around the sound that we wanted, and then it was a matter of trying to audition as many musicians as you could possibly find, with varying amounts of success. more often than not, it was a disaster. But it took a bit of time. It took a bit of time to finalise what we wanted, you know. And to be fair, the sound changed because I originally wanted to be a 5-piece band, right? Then once we couldn't find another guitarist to play with me, then I started looking into what I could do with my rig, and my rig and the bass rig is what defines our band and the sound of what we do. Yeah. Because live we sound just as big, than what we do. You know, just as we do in the studio. Yeah, you go to, without, a lot of bands are a victim of it. You know, we turn up to a stage. There's your guitars, there's your cabs, plugging your heads in. Got line checks, off you go. So we've had to change our setup to try and accommodate into that, but doing what we do to try and make it full, And we've spent hours upon hours upon hours trying to perfect it. And you know what? We're still perfecting it, but it's getting better and better. Yeah.
You get a chance, obviously, when you're on the road, maybe, to sit down and write songs. Does it come to you naturally, or do you bring the other guys into the process?
Well, usually what first happens is a riff or chord structure. That's the initial spark. Then if I think, right, okay, we've got something here, I'll then pass that on to Will. Will's a vocalist, and goes, right, okay, I've got a melody that will work with that, and then we take it into the studio, which will be drummer Tom and Luke on bass.
Can you meet up easily? Are you all sort of within one particular area then?
So logistically,
is it stretched?
It's a nightmare. Yeah. We're based in Essex, so we say our home venue is Chinnery's in Southend. That's where we our stomping ground. Yeah. And Tom, our drummer, he lives in Bury St Edmunds, and he's about an hour and a quarter, hour and a half away. If you involve the A12, might be 2 hours. But so what we do locally is we rehearse in the middle in Colchester. So we have about 50-minute travel, both of us, and we get in there. But what happens is that we get so busy playing shows, is that rehearsal is like, what's that? But that's because you get there's no rehearsal like show rehearsal.
But with technology these days, I mean, it's so easy to knock an idea out, put it on your phone, send it to somebody else, and say, like say to Will and say, work on that, and come back to me. And so
that's true.
That makes it slightly easier for you.
But there's nothing. There is no. But there's no better thing than sitting next to someone and going, right, I've got this. Yeah. And it moves here. Why does it move here? Because of X, Y, Z. And you go, okay, well, I really like that, and then build on that. That's the best. Yeah. That's the best. And for me personally, writing that's the buzz for me. That's the kick. Don't get me wrong. I'm a musician. I love playing in front of people. Of course, I wouldn't be.
That's what you're in the business for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But writing, that's the one. And the initial ideas, the riff ideas, the chord ideas, those things can come to me. I could be watching TV. I could be driving on the motorway. I could be doing anything. But those things come from. I have no idea where they come from, but they can come in at any time into my head.
Yeah. So it's scribble them down very quickly, or?
Well, I used to carry a dictaphone. Yeah. I've got loads of dictaphones, of dictaphones, full of them, and phones. You know, and they are just literally got me doing beatboxing into it. It sounds ridiculous, and I still get he ripped out of me now. From the other bands. From the other guys in the band. Like, what is this?
Who kept stuff over the years then? Just in case it works on another song.
Yeah, definitely. I've got at least 3, maybe 4 phones and dictaphones full of riff ideas. Because I heard that's what Mr. Iommi does, and he's pretty good at it.
Yeah, went to the exhibition the other day, and he was saying that he's got so much, not hidden away, but he's finding stuff every day, whether it be old cassettes or whether it be something that he's put down somewhere for future reference. And then, you may not need it now with Sabbath calling it a day, but he's working with other people. Plenty of ideas for it. Yeah. Now, when we play White Raven Down on the station and on the breakfast show as well, there's a very, very good response to it.
Cool. That's good.
Have you got any new material that we're likely to be featuring very, very shortly?
Very, very soon.
That's the way. Yes. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. How do we find the time to do it? I have no idea. I'm not. This is because that's the crazy thing, Like REP was released. I think it was the 20-something of June last year. And here we are, just over a year later, and we are so busy. We are so busy playing these shows, and because we're from Essex, we have to. Because I don't know how you see things, but I mean, you guys being in the Midlands, but a lot of bands, of larger variety, tend to hit London and then don't continue any further. Which can be a bit of a difficult thing to try and overcome for us bands that are further out. Yes, we need to get that new material out at the end of this year. I hope it doesn't go into next year, but if it does, it does. But we're halfway through recording it, and we do a lot of recording ourselves. And because we are, it's not what we do. What we're trying to do is not. It's not quick. Get in the studio, record it, get out. We have to save on. Because obviously we're grassroots bands, we've got to save on costs,
exactly.
And these days, you can spend, the average studio time is £200 a day, that's the average, but go beyond that,
is this your full-time thing then, or are you still holding down the job?
No, we've got to try and hold down a job as well. Yeah, it's tough out there, mate.
Expensive business, mate, but if you've got the talent, you'll certainly make it. How about WDFD Records? How did that connection come through?
Well, that came about from working with KOL Promotions, actually.
Right.
Yeah. Hi, Sean. How you doing, mate?
Sean Haynes.
Yeah. So come through him. We got on very, very well with Sean. He introduced us to Keith. From that's WDFD Records, if anyone doesn't know. And Keith has embarked on a personal mission to conquer the world.
He's about halfway there.
Yeah. He's got these. He's got 12 bands now that he's signed, and they're real very. It's all. I'd say it's all rock.
Yeah.
But there's a real vast spectrum of
subgenres, if you like.
And that's fantastic. I think that's exciting because it's not one label that does one thing. Because then you've got that, those bands competing for the same thing, the same slots. Well, there's none of that with this because we're not. Everyone's got their own thing going, and that's really cool. And that then helps everyone else support each other, because that's the other thing, is that bands really need to support each other to help bring all of us up. Not one of the other, but they've got to be committed to the cause, and that's Keith's mentality, and that's my mentality, and the other bands that have signed, that's their mentality too. So that's really working. So I think to see a lot of really good things come out from this label.
Yeah, it's looking good for the future, mate. Yeah. Stu, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time out.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Stonedeaf Festival 2019. Tony speaking to Stu from White Raven Down.
Take care, guys. Thanks.